Hey everybody, it's Gil here with the Sailing Vessel Dream Chaser, and in last week's episode, the girls took over filming on the boat, and you saw them make some jelly and cookies, and you saw my daughter's wacky sense of humor. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you didn't see it, I'll put a link to it right up in this corner, and you can check it out. In this week's episode, I'm going to go back up to my aunt's farm, and I'll take you guys on a little tour of a small local farm that raises organic fruits and vegetables and sells them right there at their farm store or at local farmers markets. It's kind of a neat little exploration into small farming and just what it looks like and how it's different than what you buy at your grocery store. It's kind of cool. I'm also going to show you a good meal replacement smoothie that you can do for losing a little bit of weight. Part of my reason for heading back up to my aunt's farm was to go ahead and get some fresh strawberries. I wanted to start making some smoothies, and I'll show you how I go about doing that and how I use them to replace breakfast in the morning to cut calories out of the day. I've done this before. It tends to work pretty well. Drop just a couple of pounds a week, but it's a good, slow, steady pace that works very well. But before we go on this little farm tour or make some smoothies, let me kind of talk a little bit about where my dad's at. So as I mentioned, he had surgery. He was almost 4 full weeks in the hospital. He's now been in physical rehab for just at a month, and he's getting stronger every single day. Hopefully soon he'll be back home exactly like he was before he went in for his surgery. But this little walk up to the building is just becoming routine for me, and I've gotten to the point now where I know all the staff by name. They treat him well. And he's certainly doing much better there. But it's nice to have a place where you sort of trust the people there and you built a good rapport with them. So I did come back out to Hill Farms. I went down there and picked some strawberries. I'll show you a little bit of footage of that. But it was really cool coming out here. And I just rode around with my aunt. We went to my cousin's farm down the street where he also has 25 acres of orchards or something. It was a fun time, It's my aunt's place. And the whole time growing up, they always ran the buses for the local towns here in town. On the other side of it is the pool. And this little old horse barn, now where they keep pesticides and fertilizer and stuff, used to be the original farmhouse that was on this property. And they moved it down here and then built that house up there in 1900 or so. And then all of this here used to be the garage where the buses were. And I can remember as a kid, in this first stall right here, there used to be a giant machine that would crush the apples and make fresh apple cider. I was just asking if that was the machine. It's not. That's something. This is the pool where I can remember my cousin holding me over it, and I was so freaked out as a little kid. Got rows of stuff planted here, all kinds of different lettuce here and tomatoes, strawberries in these little containers over there. You got the one greenhouse here and another one down the hill. It's pretty cool seeing that they grow all this local stuff and sell it here at their little farm stand, as well as at a couple of local. Get a sense for what I'm talking about. Here is cilantro and parsley and different kinds of lettuce. So like every week they go out to the farmers market, like in Red Bank and a few other locations. I got the truck loaded and ready to go. Picking myself some strawberries today. It's kind of cool. The smaller of the orchards here, mostly apples right in this area. And then as we go down this hill, they've got a bunch of vegetables planted down here too. So this is where I was just picking some strawberries inside of this big greenhouse, which is pretty cool. So at the bottom of this small orchard, there's again more fields of nothing but vegetables, and then you can see all the vines down there. Those are blackberries. And then in that greenhouse right there are all the strawberries, where I was just picking up a little bunch of them from. There's a bunch of land here too. It's just kind of deer haven. So you got this little 2-story deer blind that they use. And then I guess when you own the old busing company, you can put all kinds of stuff in the back. So just like I use my truck as a storage place for tools and the pipes and everything else in one of these old ones, which is kind of neat. You see that old school bus right in there? That is actually my Uncle Clarence's first bus he ever had when he went into the busing business many years ago. And he kept that bus. Heck, I don't even know that they'd be able to get it out of there anymore. It's sort of grown in with trees and everything else around it. It's kind of funny. If you want to start your own garden at home, they have plenty of flats of all kinds of different starter vegetables and beautiful shrubbery too. So I'm walking back up toward the roadside stand where the little store is, and coming up through one of the smaller little apple orchard sections here. Definitely cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this little glimpse of Hill Farms. Pretty neat. I also got a chance to go down the road to my cousin John's farm, also in the family. It's another 20 or so acres. He also has apple orchards, peach trees. There's peach and plum trees here, and nectarines, I believe it was. And down at his place, you know, it's again, same sort of thing. It's really a cool house. It's all grown up in this whole area, but they haven't sold. So there's a farm in the middle of all this suburban build out, which is really neat. It was really cool going over to my aunt's house and getting to see some of my cousins. Heck, I saw one of my cousins that I haven't seen in probably 40 years. Meanwhile, back at Dad's house, the grass just keeps friggin' growing.
That is from your children, your grandchildren, and your husband. Happy early Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yay. You're... Yes.
Wait, you deserve
Later tonight we are going to...
dinner.
Where?
Pardos.
But I call it Pedro's, so I was waiting for you to say it. Pardos?
Pardos.
Pardos.
Thank you for everything you do for us. We appreciate it greatly. We love you.
Oh.
Yay.
Look, we're so nice to you sometimes.
That is really pretty.
Now you know why I was asking what flavors the other day. Oh god, it's melting. Oh god, I'm glad we did this now. Oh god, it's melting. It's super hot outside too.
Yeah.
Happy early Mother's Day.
Thank you.
While the girls enjoyed an early Mother's Day celebration, the boatyard came out and did a little bit more work on the boat, putting on the first layer of paint after prepping the surface. Well, I know it hasn't gone unnoticed. I am still in New Jersey. I tend to say something during most of the videos just to remind you that this is a boating lifestyle channel. I will be back on the boat. We'll get back to doing that. And I'm sprinkling a little bit of that in, even with, the videos each week, while a little bit of stuff is still happening with boat projects and whatnot back on the boat with Deb and the girls. But geez, I've been in New Jersey now. This is my 7th week. And my dad's certainly doing better. He's improving, but he's got a bit of a ways to go. But unfortunately, while I've been here, I've been eating terribly. I've gained some weight. I've gained like 5 or 6 pounds. And last week, I guess it was, I noticed that it was, still a little too much. I said, I got to do something. I got to start getting back to where I'm having smoothies for breakfast or cutting back and honestly not having New York style pizza because it tastes good or crumb buns at the bakery because they taste good. So yeah, I'm getting back into doing the smoothies. I picked some strawberries and that and a bunch of bananas, and I ran over to the store and I picked me up some of this soy milk, which is something I've used for a while now when I make smoothies. I just got out of the habit of it. Now, let me show you how I do them. Pretty simple, pretty easy, but they're delicious and they're good when they're cold, and I use it as a meal substitute, so it works pretty well. Pretty simply, I use one of these little individual blenders here up at my dad's house. At home we have one of those Ninja Bullet things or whatever it is, but it's 1 banana and about 2 to 4 strawberries just halved up. I will say the bananas, if you slice them and put them in the freezer, it helps keep this really cold. When you run the blender, the friction causes a little bit of heat, and there's really nothing worse than a warm smoothie. I then just use some of my soy milk here, and I put about 8 ounces or so of the soy milk in the cup itself. And I've kind of got to where I just eyeball this, so I'm not sure exactly. That looks pretty close. Yeah, that should be good. The banana is what ultimately gives it the texture we're wanting, sort of that smoothie, milkshake sort of texture. Wow, that's not easy to do one-handed. And now it's really just as simple as, put the lid on nice and tight, and put this little guy right down here into the blender. All right, then I just tighten up the lid, and yeah, you can kind of see the texture. That's it's nice, nice, good consistency, and all set to drink. Oh, you know what? That right there, I'm going to show a little video on that. This company, Java Press, is phenomenal. I'll go into why in another video. So this works great for me. This one smoothie is usually a bit of a meal substitute, if you will. I'll have it for breakfast, maybe I'll have it for lunch and a protein bar mid-afternoon, and then have dinner, after I get back from visiting my dad at 6-ish o'clock or so. And I feel fine all day. That drops quite a bit of calories. I did the math on this. I think with that soy milk and the banana and the strawberries, it's about 130 calories for that size. So not too bad at all for a whole meal. And yeah, certainly helping me drop a few. I've gone down another 4 or so since I weighed myself 2 weeks ago and said, holy crap, I need to go get some stuff to start getting that back going down again. It's good. Like I said before, you got to drink them when they're cold. There's nothing worse than a warm smoothie. And a lot of times I will cut that banana up. I'll make them in little slices about the size of, I don't know, maybe as thick as 4 quarters together might be. And I put them in little Ziploc bags individually, 1 banana in each bag, throw them in the freezer. So when I get ready to make it in the morning, you throw those in there. Or even if you cut the strawberries up and freeze those, they sort of act like little mini ice cubes without watering it all down. And then the shortest you can blend it, the better off you are. And then you got to get it out of your mustache. So while I'm drinking smoothies and doing my thing here in New Jersey, Deb and the girls back on the boat decided to do a little bit of shopping, and McKinley's showing me off her new dress and how well it twirls. It's really cool being able to do this with the security cameras, and then I'll get a text from Deb. She's like, hey, look at the camera at such and such a timestamp, and I get to see her talking about her twirly dress and showing it to me. So pretty cool stuff.
See how pretty it twirls? Awesome sauce. Okay.
I'm dizzy.
Let's go.
I also thought it might be worth mentioning in this week's video that if you haven't checked out our website, you ought to do so. For most of these DIY projects on the boat, we write kind of a full article about it, how we did it. We include pictures and diagrams, and in some cases we even put links to the products or tools that we use to do it. They're not necessarily sponsorship things in any way. It is Amazon affiliate links. So if, for example, you're in the market for that particular item or that tool, if you click on the link from our website and you purchase the item from Amazon, it's the same price to you, no additional markup, but they throw us a little stipend, a few cents on every, kind of $10 or whatever it is. Pretty small amount, but, over time that kind of stuff adds up a little bit, and, next thing you know, I can get a new microphone for the camera, and I don't end up having to pay for it. So for those of you who do that, thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate it. One of the things I keep running into while here at my dad's house is taking care of a yard. Now, we sold our house 10 or 12 years ago. We moved on our boat 8 years ago. I haven't mowed grass in a long time. And you know what I've learned? The damn grass just keeps on growing. Hey everybody, thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do us a favor, give it a thumbs up or a like. I know some of you come to this channel specifically for boat lifestyle, DIY boat work, and things like that, and I apologize, we're not doing a lot of that right now, but as I've said in other videos, life happens, right? We take care of our loved ones, and that's what we're here doing right now, taking care of my dad. But I look forward to getting back on the boat. 1, it'll mean my dad's healthy. 2, it'll mean we're back to our sort of lifestyle. And as soon as we do, the videos will go right back to exactly what they have been in the past. So thanks for sticking with us. Really appreciate it. Appreciate, again, all of the comments and really nice things people have said just in general about the situation we're in. And I can't thank you enough. It really means a lot to me to sort of hear some of that support from folks that watch the videos. So thanks, everybody. Safe sailing, and we'll see y'all next Friday.